I start the video in the Chicago suburb of Hillside while heading east towards the Chicago Loop. Traffic might not look very heavy here, but just wait until you see what's in store ahead. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like what you see here can be found in my Chicago playlist, my Chicago suburbs playlist, or in my Chicago freeways playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. Oh, there it is. It wouldn't be Chicago on a weekend if there wasn't a traffic jam. This stretch of freeway that we're currently on gets about 135,500 average daily drivers. While that might seem like a ton, the reasons why this particular stretch gets jammed all of the time isn't so much due to the high amounts of traffic, rather the number of bottlenecks between the Tri-State Tollway where we started the video and all the way into downtown Chicago. In case you don't know what a bottleneck is, by definition it's a point of physical disruption of traffic on a roadway. That could mean a lot of different things, but it's most commonly referred to on freeways at the points where on-ramps merge with the main lines of the freeway. There are 18 on-ramps exactly to eastbound I-290 on the 13.5-mile stretch from the Tri-State Tollway to the freeway's end at the Circle Interchange, which is quite a bit. Anyway, with the older design of this urban freeway, there's not much room to merge onto the freeway at most of the on-ramps to either the eastbound lanes or the westbound lanes, and that's the main reason for the congestion, as that slows down the traffic along the main lanes of the freeway. By the way, the first segment of I-290 opened in a 2.5-mile stretch between Manheim Avenue and First Avenue in 1955, and that's where we are currently. Here is a great example of a freeway bottleneck. You have a 2-lane collector ramp merging from I-88 and Manheim Road with only 3 main eastbound lanes, in which Manheim Road is a major north-south surface road through the western suburbs. Traffic from the 2 collector lanes have less than a quarter of a mile to work with to merge into the main 3 lanes of I-290 eastbound before the South 25th Avenue exit ramp begins. And then a quarter of a mile past that is the entrance ramp to eastbound I-290 from southbound 25th Avenue, only to be followed by another entrance ramp a quarter of a mile further to eastbound I-290 from northbound 25th Avenue. That means that within less of a mile, there are 3 entrance ramps, all with incredibly tight merges, or bottlenecks, heading eastbound on only 3 lanes of I-290. To illustrate even more how congested this gets, it's at this point where the average daily driver count goes from 135,000 to 157,000, or an increase in 20,000, only to have the freeway get more narrow and still have only 3 lanes in either direction. Along with this stretch of the Eisenhower being the oldest, there has been another nickname that's been given to this stretch of the Eisenhower that we're currently on. Between 25th and 1st Avenue, they call this stretch the Avenues. It's called this as there are 4 separate exits within a 3-mile stretch, and all 4 of the exits are for the numbered avenues in the area, starting with 25th Avenue and ending in 1st Avenue. If this stretch were to have been built later than 1955, there likely wouldn't have been 4 exits along this 3-mile stretch, or there would at least be collector lanes to serve the exits with separate express lanes to allow for the through traffic to move quicker. Even though I've referred to this as I-290 several times, this freeway is almost always referred to as the Eisenhower by the locals. Originally it was called the Congested Expressway, as the Eisenhower was built along the path of the old surface road that went through here, which was called Congress Parkway. The name change was designated to honor the name of the former U.S. President, Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the president that put forth the plan of building the United States interstate highway system, which is sometimes called the Eisenhower Interstate System. This freeway is also sometimes referred to as the Ike, as that name was also given to the former president. It's not just the Eisenhower that's congested in Chicago. The Chicago metro area is ranked as the second most traffic congested metro area after Boston. Plus, the freeways here in the urbanized area of Chicago are some of the oldest in the country. When urban freeways were being built through areas of cities that were already developed, there was limited space available to purchase in order to build these freeways. There's also a lot of politics that get involved with such decisions, as building these freeways through developed areas of cities often required demolition of residential homes and businesses. Just like many urban freeways in populated areas east of the Mississippi River, the Eisenhower was built below street level in attempts to lessen the impact on the surrounding neighborhoods that a freeway cuts through. Some more fun facts to explain why there's so much congestion here is that the Chicago metro area actually has the least amount of highway miles per capita out of the entire country's metro areas. In second place, it's Tampa. In third, it's Miami, followed by New York City in fourth place. Past the avenues, this stretch of highway still sees about 150,000 drivers throughout the average day. Up ahead, traffic counts pick up as we head through the densely populated suburbs of Forest Park and Oak Park. This overpass that we're going under now is the western terminus for the blue line of the CTA, which is separate from the Metra, as you've heard me refer to in other videos. The CTA is more so for the denser populated Chicago and inner ring suburbs, while the Metra serves the communities that are further out. The Blue Line is the second most traveled transit line in Chicago, as it begins here, heads east towards downtown while paralleling the Eisenhower. After going through downtown, the line then loops around and then heads northwest towards O'Hare International Airport. And now, as the Eisenhower shares the same below street level trench as the Blue Line to the right, that leaves even less room for the freeway. We now start to see on-ramps merging into the left lane, which is supposed to be the fast lane, along with the occasional on-ramp that connects to the right. This type of freeway design just adds to the disruption of traffic flow, which keeps traffic at a crawl. Here, the freeway is able to move quicker as the lane from the on-ramp to eastbound 290 continues as a through lane past the merge point, allowing for 4 total main lanes, so there's no adjustment required to slow down and allow for traffic to merge over into your lane. It's a good thing that there's a 4th lane here, as the average daily traffic count east of Central Avenue is 171,000. We're about 6 miles away from the Central Interchange at this point, where the Eisenhower meets the Dan Ryan and the Kennedy Expressways. In between here and there, the Ike sees anywhere from 160,000 drivers to 190,000 drivers on the average day. Altogether, construction began on the first phases of the Eisenhower Expressway in 1949, with different sections being completed between 1955 and 1960. It was the first highway to have been built in the dense and urban parts of Chicago, followed by the Kennedy and the Dan Ryan shortly after. Traffic is said to have been worse on Chicago's west side in the era of the 1940s, so that's why the Eisenhower was built first in the path of the former route known as Congress Street. Local authorities also saw it as an opportunity to clear out blighted buildings, but as we all know, urban blight continues to exist and be an issue across all American cities to this day. While building these freeways might have cleared some of the urban blight that existed back then, it also required bulldozing homes and buildings that were not abandoned. As an after effect, freeway building is thought to have divided neighborhoods, along with causing even more abandonment in the urban neighborhoods. Just like the other Chicago freeways, the Eisenhower was built next to already built railroad embankments in attempts to lessen the negative impacts of freeways. The construction of the Eisenhower still managed to displace around 1,300 people and 400 businesses within the city of Chicago. Really quick, as if you're like me and you think this footage is amazing, go ahead and check out my links down below where I show you all of the equipment that I use to make videos on this channel. Also included in the links down below is an interactive map on all of the places that I've made videos on, so make sure to check that out if you're interested in seeing more videos. And right around here begins the massive line to head south on the Dan Ryan, in which the Circle interchange is still a mile and a half away from this point. This is the true definition of bumper-to-bumper traffic, as drivers try to keep their spot in line with equally increased tensions and decreased patience by all parties involved. Experienced drivers of the Eisenhower already know the shortcut to avoid the long line of traffic, and that's by waiting to merge over until the very last second by bullying their way through at the best opportunity possible, which you'll see plenty of ahead. Another reason for the long line to head southbound on the Dan Ryan is due to construction leaving only one lane open for the ramp when there are usually 2 lanes open, and you'll see that once we get there. If you're an out-of-town driver like me, at least you can sit and stare at the Chicago Skyline. But that gets old after a while. Chicago is known for its skyscrapers, as it comes in second place in the United States after New York City with a current count of 116 buildings over 500 feet tall. Chicago is the birthplace of the skyscraper, and construction continues to this day. The building that you see currently that's under construction is the future BMO Tower, which broke ground in 2019 and is scheduled to be completed in early 2022. The height of the tower will be 730 feet. The last thing to touch on is the Circle interchange up ahead, or some might call it the Jane Byrne interchange, as it was renamed to that in 2014. Byrne was the first female mayor of Chicago and served in office from 1979 to 1983. Over the years, the interchange had become known to be one of the worst designed interchanges in the country, as traffic volumes over time had outgrown the original design. After originally opening in the 1960s, reconstruction on the interchange began in 2012 and is expected to be completed in 2022. As I continue to sit in traffic and ponder my thoughts on how long it's going to take me to upload videos on everywhere of note in this country, you'll see that it took me over 30 minutes to complete a 13-mile drive, or over double the amount of time that it should take to complete a 13-mile drive on an urban freeway. Nonetheless, I do end the video up ahead. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like what you see here can be found in my Chicago playlist, my Chicago Suburbs playlist, or in my Chicago Freeways playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace.